Yo, this is Steve Bloom, and you're watching Moana Nui Podcast. We'll be starting soon. Don't go anywhere.
Aloha, everyone. Thank you for joining our 8:30 episode of the Moana Nui podcast. We're so excited for you to be part of this current episode. Before we get started, for those that may or may not know us, I'm going to introduce myself. I am Dana, the other half of the Moana Nui podcast. I am a cosplay, event, and con staff photographer. I've taken pictures for Dragon Con, MomoCon, Anime Week in Atlanta, Ranger Stop and Pop, and even y'all have seen my pictures with DC Comics. I do a little voice acting and event planning and a whole lot behind the scenes stuff with many different projects. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to the Renaissance woman of our time, the woman that has more balls in the air than a clown at the circus. My other half, my sister, the beautiful boom, 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 Moana.
Aloha, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of the show. We are really excited to have another great guest this evening. But before we bring her on, my name is Moana. I am the founder of the show, children's book author for the Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea series, editor and publisher for Wildcard Chronicles here at Burning Spear Comics, champion and lover of the BIPOC community, and just, always looking for ways to elevate our voices and help build relationships and partnerships within it. So tonight we're really excited to have our friend, a fellow superwoman, because I will say we are a group of superwomen here. Cerece is multi-talented. She is a fellow author. She writes both novels and children's books. And I don't think I ever told folks this, but she is actually a big part of the reason why I started writing children's books myself. I met her here in the DC area at Awesome Con one year. And I don't know, it's just something about her spirit and, her stories too that kind of inspired me. So I'm really excited to have her on the show. She has an amazing convention coming up this weekend.
Yes.
She has a spitting lineup, you guys. Like, I just looked at the site and I was like, whoa, there's some powerhouses coming on for the show. So let's bring her on. I'm excited to see what she's up to this weekend.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Looking
Our
beautiful with your head wrap there. We were talking about it earlier.
exactly.
It's so pretty.
This
It's so
Superwoman
sweet.
right now is in her Clark Kent form, so just be aware. She's got to keep the low key look before she start going into Superwoman mode this weekend.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, yes. Hey, it's so good to be with you guys again.
Yes, absolutely. So, for those who are watching the show and maybe are not familiar with your show, tell us a little bit about Virtuous Con, how
Yeah.
it started, and like what folks can look forward to this weekend.
Oh
Yes.
man. Well, for those who don't know, Virtuous Con is an online sci-fi comic culture convention that we really launched last year in Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really started because we were in the middle of a pandemic and that we're still stuck in the middle of it. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of virtual conventions that were coming out and they had great panels. When it came to what we needed as independent creators, there were just
Mm-hmm.
links. And there wasn't really an opportunity to like talk to fans, to show our work and display it and explain it, and then buy directly from us. And so I wanted to create an opportunity for us to do what we as independent creators do best, which is talk about our work and sell it directly to people by meeting them. And so that's how Virtuous Con started. We found a platform that enabled us to do that. Remo.co, that's a sponsor of our event this year. And it allowed us to interact and have actual virtual tables and an actual virtual space where people could interact and move and double click from table to table and talk to people. And so that's really the basis of why I started Virtuous Con, was to create that level, to give an opportunity for that level of interaction on a virtual level. And then the panels and everything, I got a team together and it just became more than I ever thought it could be.
Yeah, and I will say that, like, when you did launch your event, there were a lot of other virtual cons going on, but like yours, something about the Remo platform really was like the closest replacement that you can get virtually to like being at an
Mhm.
actual convention. Like you really got to go sit at the virtual table and boop, and you put your little camera on, and the person's right in front of you, and you get to talk to them. And I was like, oh, this is cool, like the other
Yes.
ones are kind of more like you're watching, but not really
Right.
with that ability to engage. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Remo is designed as a conference platform. And I realized like so many Zoom and stuff, they're great, but they're really meeting platforms.
Mm-hmm.
They're not
Mhm.
conference platforms. So they're not really designed for sort of dynamic interaction. And I think
Yes.
that's what makes the platform, different. And it's funny, we tell people each year, each event, it's different. It's not a
Mhm.
Zoom link. No, it's really like you're really going to interact. And they don't believe us until they drop in and then somebody's like, oh, shoot. What I mean? The camera's on and they got to talk to somebody. It was so funny because we had these, we designed some lounge areas so that
Mhm.
people could, just like at a con, when you need a break and you just need to go like sit on the wall and chill out, we actually have spaces for you to do that. And I would visit them and I'd be like, how you doing? And they'd be like, okay, so I wasn't expecting to actually talk to somebody. You know what I mean? I just need a minute. And they get themselves together and then they go out. Like, people were meeting people in the lounge areas and like
Mhm.
really having dynamic interactions. And it just, oh man, I can't tell you. It's such a privilege. It's such a privilege.
Yes, definitely. And I last year was my first year really working and being involved in a Virtuous Con, and given that other ex perspective, it was so neat that so many people, even other vendors, were going to other vendor tables like, "Hey, how you doing?" and connecting, exchanging information and all that. And then it's like, "Oh, wow, my event is going to be coming up. I would love to have you as a vendor and stuff." So it was a great opportunity for people to network. And as
Yeah,
Moana says, so many cons were trying to figure out how to pivot
yeah,
in the pandemic, and they had been in person for so long they did not have a great platform, that the attendees still felt disconnected from the convention
yeah,
because
yeah.
it did not give them that ability to interact, still get their panels, but then actually talk to everybody else that are there. And
Mhm.
this con allowed people to do it and get that feel, but also, you still have that ability, like you're going between floors, you're going to different conference rooms.
Yeah.
You have to go and enter, to that particular room to be able to attend that panel. So it gave you still, even though the convenience of your home, that still that feel of the closest thing that you can have that feeling of like you are
Mhm.
at a con and
Yeah,
all.
you can get lost. You can
Yeah.
Yes.
actually get lost. For real.
Yes.
You're like, what floor am I on? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm on the second floor. Like, yes, you can have that real experience.
Exactly. Because there was some people that were like, "Excuse me, hi, what floor am I on?" I'm like, "Well, if you look at the lower right hand corner, you see where that highlighted number where it says 4, you are on the 4th floor. You want to click
Yeah.
on the number you want to go, and then you're there. Well, what about such and such room? Okay, you see that banner to the right? It says Octavia Butler room. Click that. That's going to take you to the room you're looking for. Okay, there you go.
There you go. You can have that. You're not going to miss any of that.
Yes.
Right.
That's all. Yeah. No, it's great.
Absolutely.
The only
So
thing you have to worry about is the, parking and all that aspect. You don't have to.
yeah,
That's right. You don't have to
from the
You
park.
comfort
don't
of your
have to. You can enjoy missing that.
Yes. So
right.
parking's free. Parking is
Exactly.
Parking's free, snacks included.
There you go. All that.
Hmm.
Oh man. So, I was looking at the site and you have like so many great guests.
Yes.
One of the
Yes.
ones that sticks out to me, obviously, is Prentice Penny. He's
Yeah.
been investing a lot into the Black indie creator community,
Yeah.
picking up some of our favorites like Stranger Comics and Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer, like a lot of those
Yes.
folks.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about some of your guests and who are you like most excited to, get a chance to engage with?
I'm just, I'm such a fan. I'm scrolling through as honestly, okay, here's the truth. I look at this guest list and I can't even believe that they're coming to my convention. I just geek out.
Yes.
Yes. Look, I'm like, are you kidding? Simone Missick? Like, it's gonna be like what? Tail Coker. I'm like, are you serious? So literally for each guest, so this is gonna be too long. It's the short answer. For each guest, I'm so excited just for them to bring their perspective. I mean,
Yes.
Barbara Brandon Croft is like a legend. You know what I mean? Haida Krall is working the projects she's working on now with adapting Who Fears Death. It's just amazing. But she's also been on Luke Cage and been on so.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just so many. Arthel Isom, Isom created, the first Black-owned anime company in Japan.
Yes.
It's gonna be a Virtuous Con. I'm like, oh my God, Frank Abbey, are you serious? Malcolm Stewart, are you crazy? I mean, I just literally, I mean, Akela Cooper, I'm just so excited. Peter Ramsey from, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is coming back. We're gonna have an amazing animation panel. Tanana Reeve Dewis and her husband Stephen Barnes. They just released horror noir, and I'm so excited. I mean, I've been an admirer of her as a writer for a long time, and just to have her and Stephen just come and talk about bridging that gap, between the careers and mediums. Kwame and Bali, my kids and we read Tristan Strong actually on audiobook. I mean, so I'm just like, oh, are you kidding? And then Pikachu Lita, I'm like, are you kidding me? And then Jason, I mean, so literally, I could go on and on and on. And I'm just excited about each and every one of them and what they're going to bring. I love to look at the guest list and see all these brown people.
Yes.
And from all different spectrums of the industry, from writing to comics to film to TV to gaming, we're having yoga. I'm so excited. On Sunday we're having yoga, honey. Yes, we are.
Oh,
Because we stretch out. We need to get that kink in your back out before you go to the next panel.
Yes, I've been doing yoga every day, every morning.
Then you can do it with us on Sunday. Yes. Otaku Wellness is sponsoring a yoga
Nice.
panel. Channel
Nice.
your inner anime like chi. It's very exciting. Yes, we
Nice.
got some amazing sponsors that I'm so grateful for. People just coming forward and be like, "How can I help? How can I support this?"
Mhm.
So we're just really, really just so grateful, so grateful.
And that speaks volume of the content, the organization, and everything for this convention. When you're having such major gas coming in, but then you're having businesses come to you and say, how can I help your convention? Most of
Yeah.
the time, you'll see conventions, they are having to have a special team to search for people to be sponsors. But that shows that you have established such a name for yourself within the community that they say, hey, I want to be part of this.
Well, thank you. But I have to say, it's also my marketing team because this would not be happening. It'd be you and me in a dark room if it was not for the team.
Yeah.
Karen Mahorn, Blurred Girl, is my marketing director, and she is a beast. That's just
Mhm.
like full stop. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
Dominique Robinson is my event manager, and she is literally like my second brain. Tatiana King is my talent coordinator, and she is also a beast. Aqua Drake's his production down. And I got to shout out Dana Morgan, who is my vendor manager, who is making sure that everybody has the support they need and feels like they can use the technology to represent them and their products in the best way possible. So Jesse Hayes is my art director. So how the site looks, how the space, the virtual space looks, that's all Jesse all day long. And Jesse was with me from like the beginning when there was just an idea. So I didn't even mention David Walker. I mean, literally every time I'm so incredibly honored. I'm so
Yes,
incredibly
yes.
honored and excited for people to come and see a different narrative
Mhm.
about what we're doing, what we are creating, and what we can create. Because each of these folks are breaking the mold in their
Yes.
sphere of influence. Each
Mhm.
of them, each vendor, when you go and you visit our vendors, they are telling stories that are expansive about and inclusive, you know, and that's it's just so needed. It's just so needed right now. So
Yes.
I'm excited about everybody, and I mean that literally. Just I'm so grateful to have the vendors. We have 4 floors of vendors this time, which I'm really excited about. And we also, one of the things that's really cool is we have some other conventions that are also
Yes.
vendors. So we have
Mhm.
we have HBCU Con, we have ChemFest, we have Blurred City, we have Nerd City, I think Nerd City Con. Anyway, I'm probably butchering it, but
Yes.
I'm so excited. So there you can find out about other conventions as well because
Yes.
it's a virtuous circle, which is the
Yes.
behind the name. So
Just
you
like
know,
how you would have the cons there at a regular
yeah,
con that you can go and network with, you can do that same thing here at Virtuous Con, which was always a missing part with a lot of the virtual conventions that a lot of
Yes.
people had. You had no connection of knowing or getting to network with other conventions that
yes,
are in the area, or you could find out because I know personally, my very first con was, Wizard World, but I didn't learn about other conventions until I went to that convention and I learned about the conventions that were there,
yeah,
sharing information, giving you their flyers, telling you about their convention and how you can register. And that is what we're definitely, need and looking for. And
yes,
of course, with the convention being this weekend, I know a lot of people like, oh no, I missed out. So they're going to want to know, how can I be a vendor next year? How can I be a sponsor next year?
So the
How can
first
I be considered as a guest next year?
Absolutely. Well, what you want to do is join our mailing list, because we we absolutely, start putting the word out pretty early that this is what we're doing. Get involved. You can join our press, as sponsors. You can get a packet. So just join our mailing list, because that's the easiest way to get all the things. But on our front page, we've got the link to our tickets. We're selling tickets this year. It's $10 for the whole convention, both days. It's $5 a day. And you can, that's my team. Yes, scroll down. See, these are all the people that are the reason why we're not sitting in a dark room together. Yes, how can I forget Amy? Amy is our tech director, and she is managing. She's the wizard behind the curtain. And I mean that, like, quite literally. She knows things about Remo she knows more about Remo than I do at this point. And she's been, I've been working on it for a year and a half, and she's like, yeah, so no, this is how it really works. So she's just amazing. But so you can go, just click on that buy tickets. It's $10, and you get to enter a giveaway we will mail you physical copies of comics and art and all kinds of great stuff to winners. And then you also get a digital download of the beautiful art created by Julie Anderson, that was commissioned specifically for Virtuous Con Black History Month. So it's a lot of cool stuff. So
Yes, definitely. So I'm excited. So if you missed out, you wanted to be a vendor, definitely join the mail list so you can find out when you can sign up for next year's con, so you can be a part of it. And that way you can share your business, but also you can ask how to be a guest, and everything else for that. So, but of course, just because you can't vend, as she said, you can get your ticket for $10 so you can experience the con,
yes.
hear the content, network with some of the other vendors, and be ready for that atmosphere for next year.
Absolutely. Because we had a lot of vendors who came in the first two, and we're like, oh, okay, I can really see how this could work, and are now vending. So it's a great way to come support and see how it works, and whether or not you think it's an experience you'd love to have. I mean, it is very much like a con, because you're at your booth, people are visiting you. So, you're retired. I was talking to Greg Burden last night, and he was like, after the last show, I was tired at the end of the day. I was like, oh my gosh, at this. But it is, because we had been so used to not interacting and talking with people. So you want to be a vendor for the next con, you just click that learn more, and you get to sign up on our mailing list.
Yes.
But come on out. It's going to be fun.
Definitely. So yes, and as she mentioned, the con starts, as you saw that Moana was showing, from the website. The website is also in the banner below that's scrolling by,
Thank you so much.
virtuouscon.com. That's where you can get your ticket. You can learn more about the guests, and also join the mail list so you can make sure you don't miss out on being a vendor on one of those many floors. Because like she said, there's 4 floors of vendors this year that are being a part of this. So that tells you a lot about, you want to be in the place. You want to be in the place.
I remember when it was only 2.
Yeah, that's right. It was only 2 floors. And then we had 3 for Juneteenth.
Yeah.
And it's just,
now it's grown to 4.
I'm so
and if it wasn't this weekend, I think you would have probably went to the 5th floor.
You know what? Okay. I was telling somebody, we need some more sports people on our team, because all those beautiful people you saw, we were like, oh, what is Super Bowl weekend? Like, we need some sports people on our team. We got a lot of skills, but see, we don't have anybody who was thinking about football.
And that was so funny, because when you reached out, it was like, hey, can you be part? And I'm like, when's the date? She was like 12th to the 13th. I looked at my calendar. I was like,
okay. See,
okay.
Thank you, Dana.
She
We're gonna
might
get
not
you out,
know it's Super Bowl, but she's already got the website together, so I can't. Yeah, we're gonna just rock with this.
Next time I'm gonna ask you, because see, you can bring that sports perspective.
Yes.
We were just trying to pick a date, but Yeah, we got we up on Valentine's Day.
You up on my
we're messing.
birthday?
Yeah,
Oh
well,
yeah, we're messing
yeah,
with we're a mess. We need to we're a mess.
you're
But
like,
you're
I'm
right.
just making it happen for Black History Month.
That's right.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But yes, we will. It ends at 7, so you're not gonna miss anything. You just open that next tab and just at 7 o'clock, click over.
Exactly. Go ahead and have the TV on.
There
Be
you
ready. Let all those little pre-shows go while you're participating in Virtuous Con. Have it muted, and as soon as it's over, turn that
go. That's
volume on, and
right.
there you go. Get all
There
in
you
your sports
go.
gear.
Put all your sports together. So we got that right at least. But one of our parents, it was so funny. One of our parents was like, "Hold up!" They found out that their partner was having a Super Bowl party, and
Oh,
they're like, so I have a hard stop because I have people around. So it's yeah, we could do better. Yeah, but it's all right. It's good. See,
that's
you're
right.
getting it in. You're getting it in.
Exactly. So, especially, of course, also, if you want to be involved, you saw all those lovely people that are helping. There's also people that are helping the weekend of that are going to be at the information desk that you can say, one of the things, hey, I'm lost. Which floor am I on? You can be able to signal anyone that is staff to be able to help to answer questions and such while you're there, just like how you have at the con. So if you're interested in that, definitely get on the mailing list. So when there's the call for volunteers, also you can get your name put. You can put your name in that you can help build this platform even more and getting more vendors part of this, more speakers part of this, more sponsors part of this. We're all she's definitely looking for good help, especially if you have con experience like myself, that
Yes,
you can bring that knowledge to
Yeah.
this platform and
absolutely.
help out and make it grow.
Absolutely. And I want to say one more thing. We have the platform, unlike last year, we have the platform for an entire year. And we're only doing one big convention. This is it for the year. We're going to be doing some smaller events, but we want to open up the platform for other people who want to do their virtual convention and use the space. So if anybody's coming and they're thinking, hey, I'd love to do something that just focused on horror or just focused on anime, you can absolutely come and do that. And we can rent the space to you. We've got all the infrastructure there, and you can do your show for a couple hours or you could do it for a whole weekend. It's up to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to really offering it to other people.
That's awesome.
Awesome. I'm loving it. Well, of course, this superwoman has to go and get ready to go
Yes.
into the phone booth to change back into her superwoman attire because with the event being this weekend, she's got a lot on her plate leading up to Saturday. So we're going to have a shorter episode to this week for this day that we can give her the rest of her night to get ready for this weekend. So definitely
Yeah.
get your tickets, support Virtuous Con, but also you see below how you can follow Cerece on her social medias to keep aware of everything on her because she's also an author and writing
Yes.
some books.
Yes.
We didn't get a chance to go into that. Plus, being over this con, that's not even including her daytime job, which
Right.
she's doing some major things too. So that's why we giving her that title, that Superwoman title, because she's literally changing into her different wardrobes as she's going between these three different things. And she's a mom, and whatever else she got that we're not aware of. Which, knowing her with her being a Superwoman, she's probably got 10 other things going.
Yes.
Uh, so with that, we're definitely going to let her go. But definitely, everyone, please tune in next week. We have some amazing content going on next week at 7 p.m. We're going to have our very own family member of the Moana Nui podcast. We're having Morgan Iverson on to talk about his Kickstarter he just launched for Lumberjacks issue 3 for his comic. He's going to come and talk about that and his Kickstarter he's
Mhm.
got going on. And then at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on next week, we're having a special panel with a dynamo that we are partnering with, Sue Ann Hung. She is the CEO of the Center of Asian, um, Asian Pacific Islander American women nonprofit that they help and give professional development, training, and mentorship for women of all cultures.
Mhm.
She's actually having a convention in March
Yep.
for women, having women from different corporations,
Oh, that's
indigenous
true.
cultures, and everything that they're having going on. The whole right now, tickets are $25. We'll get into that next week for that whole weekend of content. But she's going to be coming on doing a special panel for us called The Power of No. So we want you to tune in because that's something everybody needs to hear because that is one of the things they have found that is the hardest word for adults to say. But if you're under the age of 10, it's the easiest word to say.
Truth.
We don't know what happens after the age of 10, but somehow after 10, we stop learning how to use that power of no.
Yeah.
So definitely tune in for that episode so you can get some nuggets and everything and be a part of that next week. So everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you at Virtuous Con because I will be in the place. There will be a booth for the Moana Nui podcast there. So come by, say hello, check us out. But with that, we say good night. Thank you, Cerece. Any last words you'd like to say before we get ready to go?
Thank you for having me. You guys are the best. Superwomen know superwomen. So right. They're doing 10 things today in the booth with me. We switching out.
Exactly. And Moana, any last words with you?
No, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for bringing this wonderful opportunity to the community. And I hope everyone who's listening will join into the event and find something. I mean, the content is very quality. Like I've met a lot of great authors, some folks who are going to be on our panels. So definitely check it out.
Perfect. Well, everyone, thank you so much. Have a great evening. And we look forward to seeing you at Virtuous Con this weekend on Saturday, the 12th and the 13th. You all have a great night. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if we put Hawaii in a perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course, versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course, cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No work out for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf, if he won't tell, then we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If he won't tell, then we will. We will.
I'm Steve Bloom. I've been a voice actor for more than 30 years, playing characters like Wolverine, Starscream, Tank Dempsey from Call of Duty.
With Bloomfox Studios, I've learned so much about myself.
Learning to breathe, to no fear, to getting ugly in front of the mic.
One of the biggest changes I've noticed, at least for me, is how much my confidence level has gone up.
I've done an Eastern European video game, an e-commerce commercial, a documentary. If you're thinking about getting into voiceover, just do it. Jump in.